Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I thought I would talk about my current projects with crochet and knitting. I decided to start learning how to knit this year. I taught myself how to crochet about 12 years ago, I think, and I basically chose crocheting just because for the things I wanted to make, crocheting was perfect. I was making a lot of blankets at the time, and also I made a few dolls, like amigurumi dolls, and I gifted them to a lot of my friends' kids. So I thought this year, since I'm sewing my own clothes, it would be fun to also knit my own clothes. So I'll show you the current projects I have going or will soon be starting. I'll start off with knitting. This is probably the only project I currently have started. The rest that I'm going to mention, I'm about to start. So without being too ambitious, I thought as a good starting project, I decided to knit my daughter a cardigan. And excuse the loose ends, I still have to weave them in, but I thought this isn't bad for a first attempt. I just found, originally I had bought a pattern to make a cardigan, but I soon realized that I actually can't read the pattern. I thought I would be able to figure it out and just watch some videos to try and figure out what kind of stitches or what the abbreviations mean, and that was very difficult and very intimidating to start with. So I actually found a YouTube video that shows you how each row is done. Not really an instructional video, but at least you can follow along with each row as she's crocheting. And currently, like, I've done I just started working on the sleeves. So I just started the sleeve on this side, and it's also going to have buttons at the front. So I was quite proud of myself that I was able to add buttonholes on this side. I don't know if you can really see them. I might have to redo it because a couple of them are really tight, so I might redo it. That won't be very difficult to redo, but at the moment I'm just up to the sleeve. So the first project I want to talk about is the Yoon sweater by November Knit. I hope I'm saying that correct, but it's spelled E-U-N. And for that particular one, I'm going to use this Isager yarn, and I think, yeah, this is 100% wool, and this is in the color 6S, and I'm gonna mix that. And this is the first time I'm ever working with silk mohair. It's also by Isager. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but this is very luxurious. I've never actually, like, a lot of the wool that I buy come like this, so this is the first wool I've ever bought and that's out of a skein. So I have a few. I didn't buy too many because she's pricey. So I'm just gonna buy it slowly as I need it. And hopefully I don't run out. They don't run out of the colors. But basically you're gonna mix these two together. And the pattern looks very straightforward. So fingers crossed I can finish this before winter ends, because I usually choose clothes that are more colorful. I don't actually have many basics, so this would be a really nice color to have for winter. So that's the first one. Then my next project is the Grey Sheep Bubble Jacket by Rook Knit, and I've just gotten this. I don't know if you can tell by now, but green is one of my favorite colors, and this is just from Spotlight. This is the Abbey Road brand in the color Meadow. I can't remember how many I bought, maybe 25, 30, I can't remember, but it was on sale, so I just bought quite a few. And this is 100% merino wool, and originally I saw this in the store and I didn't really know what I would make out of it yet at that point, and I just kept thinking about it afterwards. I just thought it would look like it looks like a really nice cozy green. I also bought a few of these like 8-ply wool from Bendigo. Oops, it's the other way around. From Bendigo Mills. This one is called Luxury Curry, and it's an 8-ply. And originally I was gonna make the bubble jacket with this, but now I can't really decide what I'm gonna make yet. So I did see that, I think it's Petite Knit. I think it's called the cloud sweater and the balloon sweater. I haven't bought the pattern yet, but maybe I could make that out of this yarn. And for my daughter, I thought I would make her a vest out of this one. It looks like it's actually called Twinkle. So it's kind of like this creamy color merino yarn, and it has like specks of pink and purple throughout. I thought that would just look really cute. I really like yarn that has like little specks of colors, but I thought I would make her a vest or maybe a cardigan out of this one. And onto my crochet projects. So the first one I'd like to mention is this one. This is another Sophie's Universe blanket. So I think that's what this is. I'm just comparing it actually with this one. I actually don't think this is a Sophie's Universe. I'll have to double check what this one is called. I started this probably a couple years ago. I just found it again in my stash, so I thought I would continue that. I just had to double check what this blanket is called because I thought that this was a Sophie's Universe, but this is called Phoenix. It's by Hooked on Sunshine. And a little fun fact, I actually started this blanket way before I had my daughter. I just decided on this color palette, like a nice pinks and a little bit of purple, and I thought like this would be something I could pass on to my daughter one day. And my daughter actually wasn't even born yet when I started this, so I have to finish this at some point. And you know, that's the beauty of having all these crochet projects. They're not, I don't really have a deadline of when I need to get them done, so it's just a fun little project to have for the next few years. Because this blanket took me probably 2 years to finish, but I wasn't constantly working on it. So my other crochet project that I currently have going is, this is the, I think the Charlotte's Universe. Is that what it's called? This is how I keep my projects. Is it? Yeah, so this is Charlotte's Universe, and it is the same creator as the Sophie's Universe blanket, and I highly recommend working on a blanket like this because it will really advance your skills. So when I started crochet Sophie's Universe, maybe I was, I don't know, maybe 2 years into crocheting, and the instructions are really well written, and there's also videos that you can follow along, and each row has pictures of how to create that, or what kind of stitches are in that row. It's just very, very well written, in my opinion. That's why I'm so addicted, and I have this other blanket. Actually, that's not even the end. I have another one to show you, but I started this, I think I wrote the date. Finally, I wrote the date. This was September last year I started it, and I haven't gone back to it in a little while, but I had my daughter in mind when I started this last year, so this will go on her bed when she's a little bit older. Of course not now, because she is a toddler and she will figure out a way to unravel it. And I think the colorway I decided to use for this one, I'll just put it in the description. I think it was called like Strawberry Sundae or something like that, which was really cute. And originally I wasn't even sure about this blanket because the wool is so, I think this is just a standard 8 ply, and this blanket I made with a 10 ply, so it feels strange to be using 8 ply for a blanket. It feels like it's just gonna take forever and it's not gonna be as thick, but this is quite heavy. I've never actually weighed it. I might weigh it just to find out. This is quite heavy, this blanket, and it just stays here. It's kind of like a really cozy weighted blanket to have on my reading chair, and it was just in storage until I set up this reading corner. So it's nice that it's finally out and I can finally enjoy all the work I put into it. And the other one I started, when was this? I think it came out last year, maybe October. And this is going to be Universe in Bloom, also by the same creator as the Sophie's Universe. I should probably count should probably count how many times I've said that now, but basically this is all I've done so far of the blanket. I think I chose the earth colorway, and I have a feeling I may have changed a few of the colors myself. I can't recall, but because it wasn't something I was used to, it took a bit of time to get into it. I remember having to repeat this section because it just didn't look quite right to start with. But there is also a video you can follow along with this one, and this is how I keep track of my little projects. This came with it, so this is probably the first project I've ever done this to, and it's a nice way to keep track of what you have going, because if you're like me and you have 10 million projects all at once, you do tend to forget. And this one is what I'm most excited about. And this actually just came yesterday. And this is probably my favorite wool. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce it. But this is for the rainbow high-gi shawl. I can't even remember how it came up on my page. Maybe it was on my Instagram account. And I just fell in love with it. It's not very often I would choose like such vibrant colors, but it's called the rainbow. And it kind of, I really like, it kind of looks like it has cross stitch throughout the pattern. So that's going to be a really fun pattern to follow. So I can't wait. I'm going to start that project today at some point. So that's my current projects with knitting and crocheting. Please leave a comment on what your projects you're working on. Currently we're in autumn in Australia, so it's really nice to bring out all these crochet projects and knitting projects. It's nice to have these projects that I can just pick up anytime I don't feel like sewing, because I don't know how to sit still, and I like to do 20 million things all at once. But recently I've discovered while I'm sewing or knitting, I can listen to an audiobook, so at least I can tackle my TBR for this year while I'm also doing other hobbies at the same time. And currently I'm listening to Empire of Storms. After I finished Alchemized, I needed something lighter. Like I still wanted to read fantasy, but I wanted to read something where I already knew the characters. So I dove into Throne of Glass straight away, and I think I finished the first 3 within 2 weeks. If you've made it to this point, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me talk about my current projects, and hopefully I'm not going to add any more to the current projects I already have. It's just so fun to get back into shopping for wool. I haven't done that since September last year, but even before that I haven't really been crocheting as much as I used to. I'm just slowly getting back into it now that I have more time. Please let me know what you are currently working on, especially with knitting, because I'm a baby knitter and it would be nice to find out what kind of patterns are good to make as a beginner. I hope to see you in my next crafty video. Hopefully the next one will be a sewing video. I have a couple of patterns that I'm working on and I'm filming that, so I'll be able to show you guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. I can't wait to make more crafty videos and take you guys along with me. Until then, keep enjoying your hobbies. Bye bye.